Today, when you think of Nike, you think of an empire, you think of the swoosh logo everywhere, the greatest athletes, and above all, you think of basketball. But what if I told you that in the early 80s, Nike wasn't the king of basketball? That they were just a struggling running shoe company with their profits declining for the first time? And what if I told you that they bet their entire future, their entire basketball marketing budget, on a single rookie who hadn't even played a single game in the NBA? This isn't just the story of a shoe, this is the story of an insane gamble that saved a dying giant and killed a generation of competitors. This is the business lesson of the Michael Jordan gamble. To understand the audacity of this gamble, we have to go back to 1984. Nike was the king of the running track, but the basketball court was a different territory. The court was dominated by Converse, with stars like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson wearing the classic Chuck Taylor's Adidas. The German giant was the cool and coveted brand. Nike was an outsider worse. The 70s running boom bubble had burst, and Nike was paying the price. Their sales stalled, profits fell, they were lost, desperate for a new spark. That spark came from a man named Sonny Vaccaro, a gifted Nike talent scout who had an almost fanatical belief in a young kid from North Carolina. That kid, of course, was Michael Jordan, but in 1984, he wasn't his airness, yet he was a talented but unproven rookie. Ironically, Jordan's heart didn't belong to Nike, he loved Adidas. He publicly stated he wanted to sign with them. But Adidas, in one of the biggest business blunders in history, didn't take him seriously. They told Jordan they preferred taller players, centers, and they couldn't put a rookie above their established stars. They let the future walk away. Converse also approached Jordan, but they offered him a spot among a group of stars, not to be the star. Only Nike, pushed by Sonny Vaccaro, dared to do the unthinkable. They didn't just offer a contract, they offered a kingdom. Nike offered Jordan an unprecedented deal, $25 million over 5 years, plus royalties on every product sold, but that wasn't the craziest part. They promised to create an entirely new product line around him, not just a signature shoe, but a sub-brand. It would be called Air Jordan. This was a massive gamble. They bet their entire $250,000 basketball marketing budget on a single player who might have failed in the NBA. If Jordan failed, Nike might have failed with him. After initial hesitation and persuasion from his parents, Jordan agreed. The contract was signed, the gamble was on. Nike designed a shoe that was bold and broke all the rules. The Air Jordan 1, in a defiant red and black. And then a gift from the heavens fell, one that no marketing campaign could buy. The NBA at the time had a strict shoe uniformity rule, requiring shoes to be predominantly white. The Air Jordan 1 violated that rule. The NBA banned the shoe. Every time Jordan wore them on the court, he was fined $5,000. And what did Nike do? They gladly paid the fines. They turned the boss band into their most powerful marketing weapon. They launched a legendary commercial. The voiceover boomed on October 15th. Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe on October 18th. The NBA threw them out of the game. Fortunately, the NBA can't stop you from wearing them. The shoe was no longer just a product. It had become a symbol of rebellion, a statement. And then Michael Jordan began to play. He wasn't just good, he was a phenomenon. He flew through the air, defied gravity, and won Rookie of the Year. The combination of Jordan's transcendent talent and Nike's genius marketing created a perfect storm. The Air Jordan 1 became the most coveted sneaker on the planet. People lined up for hours to get a pair. Nike had only hoped to sell 3 million in the first year. Instead, they sold 126 million. The gamble hadn't just paid off, it had completely changed the company's destiny. Nike was saved. From the brink of decline, they became the most exciting and profitable sports brand in the world. The Jumpman logo was born, and it became even more recognizable than the swoosh in some places. So, how did this gamble kill the competition? By completely changing the game. Before Jordan, the model was to sign multiple stars and have them endorse the master brand. Converse had Bird and Magic, but they were still just selling Converse. Nike pioneered a new model. The athlete doesn't just endorse the brand, the athlete is the brand. The Air Jordan line became bigger than Nike basketball itself. It created a kind of loyalty and cultural cachet that no competitor could match. Converse, with its old model, slowly became obsolete and eventually went bankrupt before being acquired by Nike itself. Adidas, after their historic blunder, spent decades trying to regain a foothold in American basketball. They lost the war not on the court, but in the boardroom when they said no to a young kid from North Carolina. The business lesson of the Michael Jordan gamble is one of vision and courage. It proves that in a crowded market, following the pack is a path to mediocrity. Sometimes a single, focused, audacious bet on one idea, one talent, can create a wave big enough to drown all competitors. Nike didn't just sign a basketball player, they invested in a story, a mythology. And by doing so, they didn't just sell shoes, they sold a piece of greatness. That gamble didn't just save Nike, it built an empire that would dominate for decades to come. The key was identifying a transcendent talent and having the courage to build an entire brand around them, rather than fitting them into an existing structure. The band campaign remains a masterclass in marketing, turning a negative into a powerful positive, creating a narrative of rebellion. This synergy between an once-in-a-generation athlete and an once-in-a-generation marketing strategy created an unstoppable force. The Jordan brand, now a subsidiary of Nike, is a multi-billion-dollar business on its own, a testament to the power of that initial gamble. It established a new playbook for sports marketing that companies are still trying to replicate today. It showed that investing in a single, powerful story can be more effective than spreading your budget across a dozen smaller ones. The legacy of this deal is immeasurable, not just for Nike's balance sheet, but for popular culture itself. What's your favorite Air Jordan model? Let us know in the comments below. If this story of a legendary business gamble inspired you, help us decode more giants by hitting that like button. And subscribe to Decoding the Giants for more stories of the deals that change the world. The Jumpman logo is more than just a brand. It's a symbol of excellence and aspiration. The legacy of that one contract for 1984 is still generating billions of dollars today. A testament to the power of a single, brilliant, and courageous decision. We honor the gambles that paid off by learning from their audacity.